So there's no lack of SD card readers out on the market, but sometimes you see something that's a little bit more interesting. And the Llano 2-in-1 high-speed SD card reader claims to combine fast UHS-2 transfer speeds with rugged, pocketable protection targeted for both professionals and hobbyists who are demanding performance in the field. But is it a practical upgrade or is it just a clever gimmick? Before we jump into the video, quick disclosure, Llano did send me this to review, though I will not be keeping it. They didn't pay me for this review and they will not be getting final approval before it goes out. But with that said, if you carry multiple memory cards and you work outdoors, you're likely struggling with cases that have promised protection, but never necessarily feel quite rugged enough or accessible enough. And so recently, Llano launched their 2-in-1 card reader, which they claim stands out both for its physical construction and a few of the features that it has up its sleeve. It's made with a rubberized plastic, it's got a soft, grippy feel, it's also relatively shock absorbent, and while I have not tried this, I'm sure that it would withstand pretty well a drop or two. It feels like it would handle a rough experience. Now, the form factor is slightly larger than a deck of cards, which means that while it's necessarily a bit bulkier than like a single card reader, it still fits comfortably in a pocket and it's designed to be portable. The key durability point here is that it is IP54 rated for water, dust, and shock resistance, which makes it actually a viable option both for travel and location shooting or just relatively unpredictable conditions. The closure system features a solid, tight seal, and the secure locking keeps cards from slipping inside the case. They stay really well kind of locked in. Additionally, there is a short lanyard hoop here at the top, like a keychain or key fob or anything like that, and that too is pretty well, I feel like this is pretty strong. In terms of design, it leans more on the functional side rather than kind of super high premium. And while it doesn't necessarily feel luxurious, I would say that the practical focus leads to its appeal, especially for folks who are looking for reliability above all and who aren't looking to spend hundreds of dollars on a case or a reader. So if it's toughness and convenience that matter more to you than anything else, this build quality is going to deliver, and what stands out is the design. But now let's move into the actual the unit itself. So if you're a creator who frequently has to move large files, simultaneous reading for multiple card types, and you've got to get it all into one place at one time, especially if you're using things like SD and micro SD cards, like maybe you're shooting on your mirrorless camera and then you're also shooting on the drone or the 360 or the GoPro. And the Llano card reader features a dual SD and micro SD card slots, which support not only hot swapping, but they also support read-write operations at the same time. So that means that photographers and videographers who are working with multiple cameras can not only load each card, but you can copy each card. Notably, this unit also supports UHS-2 speeds with data transfer rates up to 312 megabytes a second. That's enough to move a 32 gigabyte card in about 2 minutes. And that matches Llano's claim of transferring 30 gigabyte files in under 2 minutes, assuming that you're using compatible hardware. Remember, you have to be using a UHS-2 card in order to take advantage of a UHS-2 reader. I've got a link for some of my favorite cards down below. Now, for those who need broad compatibility over speed, it is backwards compatible for UHS-1 cards. The reader also integrates an LED indicator, which tells you it's blue when it's connected, green when it's actively transferring. So you get direct visual feedback when there's data activity. It's plug and play, there's no drivers, regardless of whether or not you're on iOS, iPadOS, macOS, Windows, Linux, Android. And compared to standalone card readers, the Llano not only offers high-speed throughput and built-in storage for organizing your cards, but it's the combination that really is seen as the main feature here. So if you need fast, reliable transfers in the field, not just at your desk, real-world capabilities that streamline your workflow, if you're working with big files, you've got a bunch of different card types, this thing lets you do both at the same time. Next, I want to tell you about how it functions in day-to-day scenarios. I've been using the Llano reader for a few weeks now. I've taken it on a couple of trips, both for professional photo shoots. I took it on an adventure ride where I then did a hike and filmed some footage out in the woods. And it was nice to have a device that was designed specifically for field work and travel, both because it's small and because it has the built-in organization. So that organization allows you to store 4 full-size SD cards and 8 micro SD cards all at once. and they're easy to slide in and out. Card swapping is relatively straightforward, and the internal eject pin is a nice touch, especially if you're using gloves. The closure mechanism for the outside cover is smooth, reliable, and it has a magnet snap that's user-friendly and seals well. So this thing isn't going to open up while you're in transport, and the cards inside aren't going to move around. It's a function-first build that helps streamline work if you're trying to get things done fast. So if you're managing multiple cards, you're on the go, these small conveniences like having the multiple cards together, the multiple readers together, and the fact that it is a card reader and organizer together kind of stacks up the conveniences of this product. So once you do connect it to your device of choice, it is USB-C 3.2 Gen 1, which means that you're going to be getting compatibility across a number of modern platforms, like laptops, phones, tablets. And as I mentioned, it's plug and play, so you shouldn't have really any issues as it is a standard USB storage device. And USB 3.2 Gen 1 is going to give you speeds that will be considerably higher than anything that those UHS 1 or even UHS 2 cards are going to be able to need, so you're never going to run into a bottleneck. This thing is also pretty easy to get. They've got it pretty much everywhere. I've seen it both on Amazon, Adorama, and a number of other places. And again, I'll have links down below if that's something that you want to look at. So overall, if you value the ability to work across platforms, especially if you're switching between desktop and mobile devices, and you're using a number of different cards, this thing seems like a no-brainer. Finally, let's take a look at where this reader falls in the market. For one, it's a UHS 2 reader that's under 50 bucks. That makes it honestly a pretty good deal. So right off the bat, it is going to appeal to folks who are looking to maximize their value without sacrificing a lot of reliability or features. But again, the standout feature here is not just the fact that it's a reader, and a relatively quick one at that. It's the fact that it not only reads your cards, but it stores them. And not only does it store them, but it stores them in a pretty rugged compartment that allows you to keep your cards secure, but also safe, right? It has that IP54 rating. So this is a clear attempt to address the needs of photographers and videographers who don't want to manage separate storage solutions while also not risking their memory cards in transit. But it's also functional, it's a utilitarian design, and it fulfills most of its advertised claims as being IP54 protection, it's USB-C compatible, and all that put together at this price point, honestly, is pretty cool. So if you're a budget-focused creator and you're balancing gear costs and workflow efficiency, this thing effectively checks 2 boxes. It's a reader and it's a core card storage mechanism while also being, again, less than 50 bucks. Now, I mentioned that I'm going to have a link down below to this product. That's an Amazon link, and that does go to support the channel. That's an affiliate link. But if you want to support what I'm doing here, you can consider becoming a channel member. It's $1. But let me know down in the comments what you think about this product. I just think it's kind of a cool idea and should meet the needs of a lot of creators out there, especially if you're a creator that works a lot in the field outdoors. Now, 100% honesty, this device probably wouldn't be my go-to for one reason and one reason alone. It doesn't support CF Express cards, and I do shoot with a lot of CF Express cards on my Canon R5. But it still checks a lot of boxes, and one of those big boxes is the value box. Because in addition to all the things that I've already mentioned, it comes with a carabiner in the box to go on your little hook. It has a special data protection chip built in to, I guess, protect you while transferring in the event that there's a loss of connection. And it comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter in the event that you're still using USB 3 in the A style connector. So there's just a lot to like here, and even though it's not something that I would probably use on a daily basis, again, because I'm shooting with a lot of CF Express, I was excited when they reached out to me about this guy because I looked at it and I thought, that's a cool looking product. So again, check that out down below. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.